Hello there, ladies of Language Arts 307. This is Professor Johnson. I'm really sorry that we are not all in room 204 together, um, doing lessons together. But let's try to have a sense of community and support each other in this crazy second half of the semester. Please know I am here for you. You may reach out to me for any need that you have. You email me, you can call me. Um, I thought that I would just talk through our assignment for this week. I'm going a little off script for where I was actually going to teach today, starting on writing, because I feel like we kind of just need to talk about what's actually happening in classrooms, actually out of classrooms right now. Um, So I've created an assignment that really just mimics what has just happened to every teacher in our entire country, where they've been given 1 week. They were told, in 1 week, you are teaching remotely, you are teaching online, you must create print resources to send home with your students. You've got 1 week. This is exactly what has happened to every teacher in our country. And so I want us to think about that because we have talked in language arts and in reading methods about the importance of our students reading 60 minutes a day. How are we going to help our students to read 60 minutes a day? They're not with us. We can't force them. We can't put them in their book nooks. We can't sit in our little kidney tables with them and read with them. So I am going to actually have you think about yourself as the lead teacher of a specific grade level. So let me just talk you through this assignment. I have linked here a brief article from Edutopia, but really from that article in Edutopia, there's a sample video that I want you to watch of how one elementary ed teacher is connecting with his students who are at home. During everything that's going on. So watch that video, read that article, just to kind of get some inspiration. And then what I want you to do, select a grade level. This is your choice. If you want to be middle school, kindergarten, third grade, just remember our younger students, it's a little harder for them to do a lot of online resources without help. So think about that. So select a grade level, your choice. I want you to think that you are the lead teacher for this class. You've just been told you have 1 week to prepare materials and or online resources for 1 week. Okay? So you need to find and link online or print resources for reading that will support 1 whole week of reading outside of school for your students. This really should be a variety of read to self, read to someone else, listening to reading. It can be printable stories, and then additional reading games and activities because we know it's hard to get our students to sit and read for 60 minutes in a day. So we want to break it up. We want to be creative. So you can include activities or reading games that they can do. I want you to be creative. I am seeing stories of teachers, even my own nieces. Their teachers are doing things like asking their students to create oobleck or using recipes at home to do their learning. Things that are not just out of a book, a little more hands-on that they can do with their parents or siblings. So be creative. Um, think about if your students don't have books in their homes, what environmental print might they have in their homes that could lead to a reading experience? Could you assign them to read to a parent, read to their teddy bear? Um, can they read the back of their cereal box and do a cereal box book report? So it's okay to think out of the box. You can use any format you prefer, but step 5 here, What I want you to do after you've kind of found these resources is I want you to create the communication that you would share with the family to assign this reading work for their child. You can simply write a letter to the parents and the student. If you want to do a weekly newsletter, class news kind of format, that is fine. If you actually want to create a class website page or a virtual newsletter, you can do that. But I just want you to create some type of communication where you're actually going to link these resources and assign the reading. As you're writing and creating this communication to the family, remember that we're trying to keep this positive, um, something that will inspire and encourage the kids. If you kind of think about this video after you watch the gentleman with the roller coaster video, um, how's he inspiring and motivating his students? Um, so think about that. We want to somehow get these kids reading for 60 minutes, if at all possible. So think about how many resources you might need for your kids to read every day. Make a game out of it. Create some kind of reading log, and they have to take a picture of their reading log and ask their parent to email it to you. You can be as creative as you want. What else was I wanting to say? Yes, think about not every student may have Wi-Fi. Also, they're sharing devices with multiple siblings. So if you have printable resources, our teachers today are printing packets and they're sending those packets home with their free lunches. Some bus drivers are delivering packets. So for the purpose of our assignment, if you found printable stories, I don't actually want you to print them up. Just include a link in your communication to the printable story. That will suffice. So think about how you're going to inspire them. This should just be enough reading resources for 1 week. For our younger students, that might mean that you want them to just practice reading the same short story or the same poem every day. And that's okay too. So think about that. So your assignment, this is about as real world as it gets. Our teachers today, they were given 1 week to roll out online classes, not just at the college level, but every elementary school too. So I hope you don't mind thinking through this. If this was you were in your student teaching and you had to do this, what would you do? So be creative. After you share them and submit here in Moodle, we're going to submit everything in Moodle. So once you submit into Moodle, I do want you to look at each other's and kind of see what creativity you saw in the other students. All right. Any questions? Please reach out to me. Have fun.